and I just want to kind of get you all updated that remember that this is the 6th of July, so hopefully that you won't let the month go by and kind of at the last week of the month think, oh, my goodness, I've got to get my volume in. We're trying to work with all of you effectively, and we need your help. What we want to do is that every month we're offering your consultants only a wonderful gift for only $100, their wholesale cost purchase from the company, and in doing so they'll get this value absolutely free. So now, and this month, as you can see, if you saw it in your focus, they've got glosses, they've got lip amplifiers, they've got lip brushes. Now, do they want to use all of that? Maybe not. If they don't want to use it, they can go ahead and sell it or give it as a gift. But we're trying to help you get volume and get your people in the habit of doing that volume every single month and to get used to placing orders and staying active and working with it. Because when you're selling, that's when you're out telling about the opportunity also. Otherwise, they kind of forget about the business, and then if they start forgetting, then we're all looking at like, my goodness, where's my volume? What happened to my volume? Oh my goodness! So you gotta look at it from the standpoint. We depend upon you as leaders to contact your people, and that brings me to a very, very good subject, because that's the subject of our conference call this evening. It's all about them, not you. Sometimes we can get into a mode like, where's my volume? I want my team allowance. I want to earn my trip. I want to me. And, we can't think that way. We have to think about the people when they come in. What can we do to help them get their goals and what they came in for? Because if they reach their goals, they're going to stay in the business and be happy. You will reap the rewards automatically. And that's what Mr. Knobs brought about 50 years ago, our philosophy, to help people help other people. And that's what his philosophy always was and is today, and the company will continue to have that philosophy, is to helping others helps you in the long run. So that's why I'm saying tonight we're going to really talk about that, because how do we go about making it all about them? How do we put the emphasis on them? And a lot of people say, well, gee, they don't want the emphasis. They don't want to work. They don't want to do that. Well, then maybe we ought to reevaluate what their goals are and what took place. So I'm going to turn this over to Nancy now, and Nancy is going to introduce our speakers tonight when they talk about this wonderful subject. And I think get your paper and pen ready, because I think it's really going to be well worth some notes tonight. So Nancy, why don't you go ahead and begin?
Thank you, Phil. Hi, everybody. It's exciting again to be together on our conference call. And I was certainly thinking about our topic tonight. It's all about them, and it's certainly not us. And when I think about that, I think how true that is, because remember, the new recruit is still not realizing it's all about her, because she really doesn't have a clue about what she's going to do. You're guiding her, you're leading her, and you're going to help her build her business. And as Phil said, you're certainly going to reap all the income. So we're going to have some great speakers tonight, maybe time for a couple questions. So be listening very carefully if we ask for that. But I'd like to introduce to you first somebody that we're certainly very proud of in the company, always a leader, always standing out in the focus. And I'd like to introduce Jill Weiland to you as somebody that is always more concerned about her team than she is about her own goals. And she always finds a way to put the puzzle together through a little letter coming out in regards to what they finally need here. The close is closed, so let's go and get it. And I know I've had them email me, Jill, and tell me they made it because of your little response to them. So, Jill Weiland, would you take the throne here and talk to us tonight?
Well, thank you, Nancy and Phyllis, for inviting me to speak. My topic is it's all about them, and then underline they had what they can get out of this business, take the me out of it, and you will grow. As women, this may be one of the reasons we do well in the business, because we can get into other people and not focus on ourselves. Most women have a natural interest in finding more out about the person that they're talking to. So tonight I'm really going to just encourage you in ways that will help you in that natural flow that each one of you have. The important thing is to just relax with your initial contact with a potential consultant and relax with the follow-ups, but to be totally into the other person. So I'm first going to be talking just a little bit about talking to people who are interested in possibly coming into the business. Now, when we think about being totally into the other person, that doesn't mean we don't have our own set goals. And one of my consistent goals when I sponsor is, and I have a little Post-it note in the front of my training manual, is to produce confident, business-producing style makers. And if they come in and they're talking about this and they don't already have this mindset, I want to help them to grow into strong, business-minded women. Because if they're able to identify some of their own strengths at the start, they already can see what they have as an asset in starting their own business. It really helps their confidence. So if we think of it, every person you talk to, it doesn't matter what their age or background, everyone has a strong pool to pull from for doing this business. So the important thing on your first contact with a potential consultant is to get that person talking about themselves. For instance, if I had a phone call or an email expressing an interest in possibly doing this business, I don't just right away go into a lengthy explanation about the business. Instead, I just say, I am so glad you are inquiring about this business. I've been working the business for over 20 years, and I still love it today as much as I did the first day I started. But before I tell you more about it, I would like to ask you a few questions so that I can better explain it to you. So at that point, what you're wanting to do is find out more about them, because then you can personalize the business to them. So some of the questions might be, what is it that interests you in this business? Or do you work outside the home? If so, what type of work is it? Or maybe just tell me a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background and what you have done in work, or what are some of your passions or hobbies. What you're wanting to do is find a common ground. If she's talked about having a family, I might ask her how many children she has or their ages, just something that I can connect with that person. I like people, and so it's easy for me to find good assets in everybody. And, that's what I see first is their positive points. And so that will help them grow this business. In essence, what you're doing is you're becoming a friend and an encourager. When your potential consultant is then deciding to commit to an action of signing, say, the distributor agreement, they're interested in what is in it for me. And through understanding more of their thought process, you're able to show them exactly what is in it for them. You will be answering them at their level and their need. You don't want to throw everything that we have at them or that they could ever do in our business, but you want to let them know what we have that fits that little niche that they want filled. And at this time, they don't care if you're interested in the fact that you may be wanting to promote to district director or executive director, or if you're an IED and need to sponsor to get your team development bonus. They don't really care about that. At this time, they want to know exactly how it benefits them and their family, and you do not want them to feel pressured that you want to reach your goal. Remember, it's all about them. There's no set pattern in how to reach each person. Every recruit is entirely different. If you meet somebody for the first time, you may wonder, should I lead in to tell them about the business opportunity or my product? I want them as someone purchasing my product. And you want both loyal customers and active consultants. So the best thing that you can do is invest time getting to know your prospect. There's no set pattern, again, as to which is best to lead in with the product or the business opportunity. Wait till you know a little bit more about that person so that you can, again, fill a need. There's a book called, and I referred to it before, Guerrilla Multi-Level Marketing.